What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So we're back. We have a new series kicking off. It is Fundamental Fridays. If there's any audio or video issues, I promise it's just because I'm traveling right now. I will be back at my normal studio. These other ones, also, Mike might just carry these on himself. You've seen these one pagers that we use to show all the fundamentals. These are fact-based things. There's nothing to argue here. So that'd be a good thing to introduce this, kind of go over things on Friday. The market's closed. Let's just look at let's look under the hood a little bit. Today we are going over Tesla. Now, Mike, I know you're going to kick it off, but do you really think Tesla's going to go bankrupt?
No, I never said that they were going bankrupt. What I said was I fully see the price of their stock going below 100. The possibility of them going bankrupt is not zero, is what I said.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's who we're listening to. Because for everyone out there, love or hate Elon, doesn't matter. I'm usually saying that about the president, but now he's throwing all the eggs into that basket. So okay, pull up your charts here. Let's look at the fundamentals of Tesla.
And let me just preface this: I'm not going to make any fans with the Tesla fanboys for sure, but it is what it is.
This is facts. So
yeah.
At this point, let's try to make fundamental Fridays. Like here's the screen. We're going to go over this. These are absolute numbers, and then we'll throw in our opinion at the end.
Yeah.
So even if it's just Mike, guys, we can carry this on to the Sunday live stream. We can talk about why he's right, why he's wrong, why he's crazy. But nonetheless, we will be arguing over numbers that don't lie.
Yeah. So I've been putting these one pagers together of the stocks, right? And I did Tesla. And this is a couple of weeks ago. So the numbers are a little off. However, the financial data was after they posted earnings. So
we have all the latest.
Yeah, so that has not changed at all. Going through this, I started looking at the numbers. It was quite concerning with me.
Which part? I've seen a lot of green on here.
So let's just go through this. Gross revenue, which is something that I value probably the most, is in a downtrend. And this, in this yellow box, as you can see, stuck out to me. Overall gross revenue, it grew less than 1% year over year.
So are we chalking that up to a plateau or market conditions?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the factors are. I just know this is very concerning.
It would be really concerning for me if we were still just roaring. I think this is where maybe we differ. I can see why you say that, but given the overall state of the economy, I can see why people might have chilled. People might have pulled back a little bit. Maybe, we're seeing some trouble.
And I'll walk through my thought process, right? Like I want to see growth that's at least beating SPY, beating QQQ, because otherwise, what's the point of investing, right? So I've got a projected growth of 3.67%. This was also concerning to me. The CAGRs, or the compound annual growth rate, is also declining. So it's not terrible. It's just not where it needs to be for a growth company.
Now, are you comparing this to what Tesla used to be? Now, for everyone listening, it's a lot easier to grow 100% year over year when you first made one unit. Now you made two, and now you made four. But when you get into the millions,
and their revenue, so these are in billions, right? So this is 97 billion, and you're right. It is hard to grow, but I still want to see some growth, right? I still want to be able to beat SPY or QQQ. So the 10-year compound annual growth rate, it started from where it was 10 years ago to now is 40%, but 3 years ago, it's growing at a compound annual growth rate of 21%. So it's slowing, which is normal, and it's still above where it's not bad, but it's slowing pretty good. So that's not super concerning that by itself, but it's something to keep an eye on. This right here was just what was concerning to me. This year over year growth of less than 1%. To me, that was kind of an eye opener.
It is for the first time. For the first time, Tesla's actually done that.
Yeah.
Scroll down a little bit. Is there any other red flags on here?
Yeah. So gross profit margin also actually declined from the previous year. So they had, 17 billion, 660. Now it's basically flat.
Yeah.
A little concerning. Got a bad score. And if you look at this, you can see, go back to gross revenue for a second. Their gross revenue, of course, right? If you had got in at 2014, you are sitting pretty, right? It's just ramping up. You can see where it just kind of flattens out right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and your gross profit margin, I see like there's almost like a trend down, but if you actually take that off, it kind of has its low and its high years.
Yeah.
So we haven't, we're still above 2019. I think what would be concerning for me on that graph is seeing a new low.
Yeah, right. Net income margin also down from last year. Again, little it's concerning, right? Like we
Right.
had net income popping up and now it's down again. It was negative
Yeah.
for so
So
long. It was negative forever. Started having really good profit margins, and then now it's the profit margin is shrinking.
yeah, so this is the first year we haven't just seen the ramp up.
Right. So,
Right.
is it an off year? Could be. We don't know, right? Operating income, again, ramping up, falling down. The trend is still
Mhm.
up, but you can see it's ramping up and then falling down, ramping up,
Yeah.
falling down. All concerning to me. Free cash flow, that's the only good, that's a bright spot. Their free cash flow is growing still.
This is what I kind of expected as far as automotive goes too. I kind of expected Tesla to do this. I know people are thinking 40, 50 million cars a year, and I don't know where they get these numbers. But personally, I expected it to kind of plateau. The next big thing I think will happen for Tesla until we start rocking out full self-driving taxis and people are buying, absolute fleets, and then, obviously Optimus, which we can't put on these charts because those numbers just aren't here yet.
Yeah. And we'll get there. I've got some thoughts
Mm.
about that. But so again, this is Fundamental Friday. I'm looking at the fundamentals. I will touch on the speculation part of it, but that's not part of the Fundamental Friday. It's just something like this is a snapshot of the financials, but it's part of a picture that had me do some digging. How about that?
Yeah, and certainly when it comes to my investment accounts, these are what even gets you to the conversation. Like if this doesn't have a clean sheet for me, then I'm not even talking about it,
Yeah,
because first I have to believe it's going to be here in 5 years. And then
right.
after that, let's take a look at the numbers and see what it looks like, because I was a big fan of Tesla. Scroll up just a tiny bit. And we do want to keep these, 8 to 10 minutes. We're not going to waste any time on here. But if you look at the net profit margins, the net income, the operating income margin, you know, Tesla was losing money just hand over fist, but it was that growth. Like, hey, we're not going to be losing money for long. And so I wasn't in those early years. It did pay nicely. So now the question being, going forward, now the speculation probably really begins as to, is this an off year? Is it the overall economy, or is it just not the story it once was?
Right. Exactly. Right. So some other financial data. Total assets. They've got plenty of assets, right, versus their liabilities. Plenty of cash versus their debt. So these are great numbers right here. So I mean, it's not bad.
Not going away.
Yeah. If you're into the wheel strategy,
Yeah. Hmm.
here's what your expected income annually is, right? Again, pretty decent. Now, running some figures based on all of this data, I came up with some fair market values. And so I run a few different models and then I just take the average, right? So we got the analyst price target, we got the DCF. So it's a TCF. What's that stand for?
I keep wanting to say dollar cost. It's discounted cash flow.
Discounted cash flow. There we go. So if you look here, I run about four different models, and then I also get
Mhm.
data that provides the analyst target price. I'm averaging these. I'm not putting this into the fair market value price. So the discounted cash flow valuation that came out at 197. Some other models. So you got a worst case, a best case, and a base case. These are all using the data, right?
Right.
It's not me putting random numbers in there. It's actually using data to calculate this stuff, which is important because what these sheets are trying to provide is an unbiased view
Right.
of the current financials. So, and what that's telling me, it came up with 105 and 44 cents.
Quite a drastic change from the other YouTubers.
Quite a drop from where it currently is. So if you look up here, this like I said, I printed this out a couple weeks ago when it was still at 354. I think it's at what 280 something or 290
Yeah.
something today. So it's dropped out $50. This is the stock one pager. That's why I'm so
Yeah.
bearish.
We'll wrap this one up. But yeah, so going forward, these will come out every Friday. We need to know down below what tickers you want. The ones that get the most voted, the most likes, those come first, and we will do this in order. So let us all know down below. Please feel free to tell Mike what you think Tesla is actually worth and why he's wrong, just so I can make fun of him too. I'm with you guys. But
I'm the data guy, man. I got to go with the data.
yeah, exactly. It's not a bad approach. It's just wildly different from what everyone else is saying on YouTube. Granted, they also think 20 million cars a year is going to be next year. So
Yeah.
take that for what it is.
Exactly.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm wrapping up. We'll see you guys. You'll see me on Sunday for sure.
And I'll be doing these every week.
So come back for more content. If you want, if your sole purpose after seeing this is to make fun of Mike, make sure you're here next Friday. We got 52 weeks of ammo coming up.
I have thick skin. I'm all good.
You'll do just fine. All right. We'll see you guys.
See ya.